Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live. You can find me live tonight on Mojo 50 Radio. Or you can find us on Facebook.com/Mojo50 Radio. If you want to go to the radio side, you can do that. That is okay with me. That is just fine. You don't have to look at my silly, stupid, very hairy, a very non-hairy face. That is okay with me. It is all right. You don't have to look at me. Just make sure that you comment in either the MeWe chat rooms, the Facebook chat rooms, or over on Twitter. You can find me anywhere on those platforms. Also, if you do use Twitter, use at DOAE Show or at Steven Airey. Either way, it'll work for me. And don't forget, check out our website, man. It's doaeshow.com, doaeshow.com. You can get swag. You can get all the best there. You can get a great coffee mug, kind of like this guy right there. Anyway, back to it. It is Friday. It has been a long freaking week. Not just for us, not just for you, but for pretty much everybody that has been going through all this crap and everything that's been happening in the week that wasn't involved in what we were doing. But before we get started, I do want to tell you about one of our sponsors. It's Era Capital Management, eracapitalmanagement.com. So eracapitalmanagement.com. Do you have your own investments yet? It's not easy. I know because, well, I don't either. Save yourself time and trouble. Contract Era Capital Management today. They will provide you with a free portfolio assessment. It's your life, your era. Invest in it. Era Capital Management LLC is a registered investor's advisor. Investing in securities involves risks of loss. Visit eracapitalmanagement.com or call them at 509-559-6229. You can call and ask for Jacob. That man is amazing at what he does. Hey, Nicole. Good to see you. Glad you're here with us. Everybody else. Rocky Stucci's in the house. That's nice. By the way, Rocky Stucci, you can usually find midnight to 1 a.m. Eastern time on weeknights, week mornings. You can say whichever one, I guess, technically, depending upon what you're doing. So, what's the big news of the day? Well, there's actually a lot of big news of the day. I mean, we could talk about the Virginia Lieutenant Governor having a second accusation on his list. We can talk about AOC and the Green New Deal again because it's coming out to fruition about all this other crap that's happening with it. But today, I want to talk to you about New York. And why New York? Because Andrew Cuomo has announced that income tax revenues have dropped by $2.3 billion. Billion with a B. Yes. See, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced Monday that the state income tax revenues plummeted by $2.3 billion since he introduced his new budget plan last month, a bombshell that will force him to curb his spending. No! It's like the entirety of New York is going to die because Andrew Cuomo can't spend any money. Cuomo attributed the revenue drop in December and January largely to the new federal tax code as well as volatility in the stock market and other, quote, uncertainties. He says, quote, that's a $2.3 billion in revenue. That's as serious as a heart attack. No, he didn't start that either. This is worse than we've anticipated. He said, the governor said in Albany, quote, this reduction must be addressed in this year's budget. Yes, it must be. The reduction in tax intake. You want to know why? Your taxes are going down in New York, or your tax intake anyway, because everybody's leaving. People are moving. The people with money are moving away. They don't want to be taxed 70% anymore. And that is one of the bigger issues involved in that. Cuomo, anyway. In a rare joint appearance with Cuomo, the state's comptroller, that's right, I said comptroller, and I don't mean a person who trolls people on the computer. Yeah. Tom DiNapoli. DiNapoli. Gosh, these guys' names. DiNapoli. It's DiNapoli. That's my final answer. DiNapoli for 500, Alex. All right, so confirmed the deteriorating finances. This is the most serious revenue shock the state has faced in many years, he said. He urged Cuomo and legislators to sock more money away in the state's rainy day fund to prepare for the worst. Wait, he's telling the government to save money? What a fiend. Cuomo had planned to spend $176 billion. That included about $100 billion in federal funds in the new fiscal year that starts on April 1st. Let's see. What was that, Stephen? Stephen Ballman? Stephen Ballman. Leave the fin, take the Nipoli. No. Take the Dinapili. No, it's Polly. It's Polly. P-O-L-I. P-O-L-I. Dinapoli. Oh, man, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. His tax guy. Should just call him Guido. I think that's what we're going to call him, Jaina. I think we're going to call him Guido. That makes perfect sense. Cuomo's preliminary analysis claims much of the impact is coming from a drop in revenues from the state's highest income earners, the most impacted by the loss of write-offs in states and local deductions known as, quote, SALT. That's state and local taxes. State and local taxes. That's the acronym SALT, S-A-L-T, state and local taxes. I don't know why they have to make everything an acronym. It doesn't make sense. Stop doing it. Stop it. Anyway, the federal law approved by Donald Trump and the GOP and everybody else, and we want to make these people look bad, controlled Congress, limited SALT deductions by to $10,000. Yeah, because the federal government doesn't want to pay for the state. The federal government says, guess what, state? Do your job and actually budget your crap. We don't want to have to backfill when you overcharge your people. It's not our fault. It's not the rest of the country's fault that you as a state overcharge the people that live there, especially those that make a lot of money. It's your fault. It's your fault. The loss of revenues from New York's wealthiest puts New York in a bind because the state relies on a progressive income tax system that taxes the rich at a higher rate, a socialist income tax system that taxes the rich at a higher rate. Jeremy, what did you say? Okay, I'm trying to make fun of all of my coworkers. Please give something about Steven Airey that I can make fun of. Okay, you can make fun of me, dude. Just look at me. I'm easy to make fun of. You don't have... Look, I look like I'm 10. It kind of looks like I've got a weird haircut right now. I mean, you can make fun of a ton of stuff. I've got a higher voice. I don't know. I'm a goober. What? You can come up with anything you want, Jeremy, to make fun of me about. I don't care. Do it. It's good times. But you have to buy a shirt if you're going to make fun of me. At least buy an Eagle shirt. All right? Do that, and I'll be happy. It's a deal. Cuomo said in Albany, Albany can't go to the well and tax the wealthy again because that would only worsen the situation, citing anecdotal evidence that higher income New Yorkers already fleeing the state, but he doesn't have any figures to back it up. Well, yeah, this is from the New York Post, by the way. So the New York Post doesn't want to actually back up his figures. So yes, that is true. It is true that when you tax people to oblivion, especially those people that actually make money, those people don't want to live in that place, so they move to some place because they have the money to do it. They move somewhere else because it's easy for them to do that so that they can stop being taxed out the ass by you, Andrew Cuomo, and maybe they can get something more than a 12-ounce soda when they go to the store. I don't know. Maybe they like to have salt on the table when they go to the restaurants. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to pay 75% of their income to you, the state government. So why would they want to stay? So he's right about this one point. Cuomo is right. It doesn't matter. He can't go back to the well of hiking taxes on the rich because, one, it wouldn't fix the problem, and two, it would scare them all away. No, sorry, you can't. That I have to draw the line there, Jeremy and Stephen Bowman. I got to draw the line there. I have 2 cats in my house. They are the most loving creatures I've ever had. Like, they're the most chill things ever. All they want to do is just sit on your lap and get pet. You can't call me a kitten kicker. That's where I draw the line. Timeouts. I draw the line. I draw the line there, and my wife said no. So find something else. But that's past the line. All right, that's past the line. Oh man, that's gonna be bad days for everybody. Bad days for everybody. Okay, so you know what's something that that you can do right now, especially if you don't live in New York? Let's go to Tar River Arms. That's traguns.com. If you go to traguns.com, you tell them that Steven over at Mojo 50 sent you. You can get some of the best deals in the world on the best and latest of weapons. So Tar River Arms is America's first virtual gun store, making it easier than ever and more comfortable for you to purchase a firearm online. They're modernizing the firearm sales to accommodate for the online generation. They have, for those who prefer brick and mortar experiences, they have a full 3D interactive experience. You can spin the images of the gun. You can see every angle. You can zoom in. It's not a problem. They have weekly specials. They eliminate the shipping and brokerage fees on most of the orders. They have great guns at great prices and a great service. Veteran-owned and operated. traguns.com. traguns.com. Go check them out. So speaking of taxes and places that are crazy, New Jersey, just a step across the horrible, nasty waters in New York and New Jersey, over to Jersey. Yes, I am Facebook Live. Over to Jersey. So if you go over to Jersey, you get the rain tax. Oh, you don't know what I mean by that? Well, it seems that if you go to Jersey, you can, not only are they one of the highest taxed states in the country, but now residents and businesses are being taxed extra when it actually rains. So during a simple rainstorm, you get charged more taxes. That's right. More taxes on your bill because it's gonna rain. Save it for a rainy day. Some of your hard-earned dollars may be taken away from the weather turns ugly and the raindrops and falls in the Garden State. A new bill calls for the creation of a local and regional stormwater utilities, giving local counties and municipalities the power to collect taxes from properties with large paved surfaces, such as parking lots. The business owners, that's business and homeowners alike. That's right. You heard me. Businesses and homeowners, if you have basically any sort of paved surface, you will be paying more money for rainwater as it goes in the drain. The bill, passed by the Senate and the Assembly, is now headed to the governor's desk. That's Governor Phil Murphy. So if you live in Jersey and you don't want to be taxed for when it rains, you may want to give the man a call. Quote, with all the salt that we have on our roads recently that's been running into the sewer system, you can't ignore the problems because they don't go away. That didn't make any sense to you either, I'm guessing, because it didn't make sense when I read it. That was a quote from Senate President Steve Sweeney. I know they are making homelessness sound better and better, aren't they? Especially if you live in New Jersey. Of course, if you live in New Jersey and you're homeless, you should just move to Florida. You should hitchhike. Find a way to Florida. At least then it's warm. Sweeney said that most states already have, quote, storm water utilities that are collected and filtered in runoffs from storms. In New Jersey, the runoff goes directly into the streams, rivers, and bays, carrying it with its pollution like lawn fertilizers and chemicals in the waterways, which is bad. You should have them going through a filtration system first, you idiots. Why would you allow that crap to get back into the water? Morons. The former governor and the current state senator Richard Cody, like, okay, stop. Okay, I got to stop you here. Okay. You have wastewater plants and that recycle the water and get it put back into the system and everything else, and then you have wastewater plants that put it back into the environment and all that other jazz. Why would your sewer systems not go and get dumped into the wastewater system? Why are your sewer systems going to the local rivers, streams, and lakes? Are you that dumb? Are you that stupid, New Jersey? So glad I don't live there. I'm so glad I don't live in New Jersey, because I would be screaming at these people on a daily basis. I would become that crazy New Jersey guy screaming at everybody, yelling off the in the cars at everybody else, flipping people off, making angry gestures, all because they're taxing the crap out of me, if nothing else. It's horrible. It's crazy to think that they're going to sit there and they're going. So you have Cuomo over here in New York, all right? You've got Cuomo in New York. He's like, oh, crap, tax revenues are down $2.3 billion. I can't spend this $173 billion anymore because, well, I still have the money from the federal government, that $100 billion that I'm going to be given from the federal government. Why do they have that, by the way? I don't know, but I can't spend $73 billion from the state. I can only spend 70.5. Really? Tax revenues are down because you're taxing the crap out of everybody. You know what? A federal tax break is good. A limit on how much the feds are going to support your system by reimbursing people on their federal taxes is a good thing. That's the federal government not getting as involved in supporting your state, because it shouldn't be involved in supporting your state. Your state should be able to support itself, and then your state should also be able to support the federal government, not the other way around. There are certain things and certain taxes that have to be in place. There are certain areas and certain places that have to have taxes. I get it. You should have there should be taxes on the things you buy. Makes sense, but there should never have been taxes on the income that you make that you haven't even gotten the chance to spend yet. And so for these people to say, oh, we have so much money coming out, and then, oh, look at this, it's terrible, we're never going to make it because $2.3 billion out of the $173 billion is not there. Really? Kiss my ass, Cuomo. Pucker up and suck my left cheek. Right there. Governor Murphy in New Jersey. Why would you do this? Why would you think it's okay? Why are they voting in people that would think that it's a good idea to actually tax the people more money for when it rains? I don't know. I'm sure you guys don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It just boggles the mind. So moving on. So I'm sure you guys have heard about what's been going on with the Supreme Court. You know, on the 7th, the Supreme Court is oh, hold on. What was this? Backyard cows. What are you talking about? Steven Airey. In Kansas City, most of our storm sewers flow to streams. There's so many carry both in an older. Yeah. Okay. The sanitary waste ends up and flowing down the creeks and running through the town. Wow. That's not good. Well, that's not good at all. That shouldn't be that way. They should at least run that through the clean water, at least through the sewage system. Yeah, that just makes sense. Yes, Jules, I am old enough to use that language. And even if I wasn't, I wouldn't care at this moment. All right, so the Supreme Court has been going through its dockets and everything else, and one of the things that were on the docket was the Louisiana abortion law. The law was preventing abortions in Louisiana, stopping people from being able to have abortions, and closing down most abortion clinics in Louisiana over a couple of different things. So, guess what? In a 5-4 decision, which, by the way, how did they get a 5-4 decision when one of the justices hasn't been seen? One of the justices hasn't been seen. In what? 4 months? 3 months? You can't do your job from home, I'm sorry. You can't do the Supreme Court job from home. You actually have to be in the court, sitting there, ruling on these cases. You cannot do this from your house. It's just not, it's not viable. It doesn't work, because if that was the case, then we would never have to have any Supreme Court actually sitting at a bench. We wouldn't have to have them in a docket. People could just present the case over Skype. They could present the case over Skype, and when they present the case over Skype, everything would be fine, right? I mean, really. Oh, yeah, Jeremy, by the way, get all the memes. Make all the memes. It's there. All the memes. Do it. Do it now. Do all the memes. All the memes are us. That's just how it has to be. But continuing on. So, yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, Donna, very nice. Good job. RGB phoning it in. Good times. Good times. So the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 Thursday night to block the Louisiana law for now. That abortion rights groups would leave the state with only one abortion provider in the entire state. That's a win, guys. That would be a great thing. You only have one abortion provider in the state. That's great. All that means is that we have less babies dying in your state. That's it. Less babies dying in your state. Wouldn't that be a good thing? Less babies dying in your state? No, we aren't sure that Ruth Bader Ginsburg could phone in. We aren't sure that she can do anything. Actually, I'm pretty much convinced that she's dead. So, I mean, continuing on. So, who was the flip? Who was the flip decision in this, guys? I want you to guess. I want to see a couple of things flowing in before I go through. So, who was the flip? Who was the person that flipped it? Because it was a 5-4 decision, and you technically have 5 conservatives and 4 liberals on the court. You technically have 5 conservatives on the court. So who was the flip? Take a guess. I'm going to give you a second here. Give you a few key points. Nobody's answering. What's wrong with you guys? Come on. Make a guess. I know you want to. All right. Screw it. I'm just going to tell you. It was Justice Roberts. It was Roberts. Roberts did it. The same guy that flipped on us for those terrible times of Obamacare is the same guy that flipped on us when it comes to abortion. Justice Roberts. Roberts. So Justice Roberts is now Anthony Kennedy, and he shouldn't be the leading head of the court. I just got to say, that's not cool. It's not there. That sound means it's time for a commercial break. So we will be right back right after this. All right, you Facebook folks. The great comedian Flip Roberts. That's right. Flip Roberts. Mm-hmm. That's good times. What are you guys talking about? Are you guys talking about making memes of what, me? That's, oh goodness, this is not good. No. Bless your heart, he is nice, he kicks kittens. No, we already got past that. Kitten snorfler? What's a snorfler? I gotta know what a snorfler is. Look, Stephen Bowman, what the heck is a snorfler? Please tell me. A cyborg RPG. Yes, I'll take all the memes, Jules. All the memes belong to me. All the memes belong to me. That is it. That's how this works. All your base belong to us. All your memes belong to me. That's how this works. Daily. Boo, hiss, Robert flipped. Yep. Oh, you could make that into a good chant, Rosanna. You could make that into a really good chant. You should try that one day. Start some chants. That way we can really cut this out. I'm a cat turtler. I do have to clean the litter box, so it's part of my job. I mean, that makes sense. I'm just saying. From Bloom County, what opus does dandelions snorfle? And we're back. This is Defenders Live on Mojo 50 Radio. You can find us pretty much anywhere you want to find this podcast. But if you want to listen to us live, we are Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Mojo 50 Radio. You can find us on the iHeartRadio app at Mojo 50 Radio, or you can find me right now on the Facebook page /Mojo 50 Radio. Talk in the comments section. Apparently right now there's a whole bunch of things going on about cat turtlers and John Roberts being a flip. And that means he's a dolphin, I guess. Motley Crue. Yes, you guys are a Motley Crue. And apparently I am meme-worthy, which is good. It's really good. And if you go over to the MeWe page, you will find things like Ripple is the newest crypto that you should get into. What? No, not getting into Ripple. That's There's too many jokes with Ripple. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's not gonna do it. I can't do it. I don't feel it. It doesn't feel right. And you know what else? One of the things I can do is I can go to lovemytummy.com /Mojo. Lovemytummy.com /Mojo. Use the promo code Mojo. You can get a 3-month supply of Atrantil. Atrantil is 90 capsules in a box. It's $39.95. Usually you could save over $20 when you get this offer. It's $99 for a 3-month supply. So you can get a 3-month supply for $99. That's $20 in savings. You get 3 boxes of Atrantil. Atrantil, if you go to lovemytummy.com /Mojo, use a promo code Mojo. It is the world's first ever over-the-counter proven solution for bloating and issues in the GI tract. Developed by a board-certified gastroenterologist, Dr. Ken Brown. He is a butt man. Safe for daily use, 100% natural polyphenols designed for addressing bloating problems where they begin, in your tummy. If you ever go a day with that bloating, aching, horrible feeling, maybe you have GI problems, maybe you have IBS, maybe you have a gluten intolerance, you should try Atrantil. It probably will help. It's lovemytummy.com /Mojo, promo code Mojo. You get a 3-month supply for $20 off. It is amazing. Go try it out today. I'm not too good for the Ripple, Donna. I'm not too good for the Ripple. I just can't get into the... I've already got enough things invested in crypto. I can't do it anymore at the moment. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna HODL. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna keep it as is. That's all I got. That's all I got. So Maybe you're one of those people that likes to adventure. I don't know. I don't know who you are, but maybe you like to go out and adventure. You like to go and talk a good game and do some running and do some jogging, and maybe you like to go mountain climbing and things like that. Well, on Monday, a trail runner in Colorado was attacked by a mountain lion. You heard me right. He was attacked by a mountain lion. But this is what happened. The reports I read this morning were almost unbelievable. I heard of people fighting off mountain lions and surviving attacks. This is from theoutsideonline.com. Wait, hold on. B from the SAV. Let me cut back here real quick over on the MeWe's. The talk here should shift from butt chugging. Doc had a wonderful story on that. Oh yes, he did. It was a wonderful story. So, quote, the victim of the attack described hearing something behind him on the trail and was attacked by a mountain lion. As he turned around to investigate, the lion lunged at the runner, biting his face and wrist, and he was able to fight and break free from the lion, killing it in self-defense. The runner sustained serious but non-life-threatening injuries as a result of the attack. Quote, we've had a few false reports here of animal attacks that didn't turn out to be factual. This came from the public information officer at CPW. Quote, in this case, everything that the runner told us was completely credible. The injuries he sustained, as well as the injuries we found on the body of the mountain lion, corresponding to his story. We have zero reasons to believe that he had anything to do anything he told us. Reason to believe that anything he had told us was false. Farrell explained that there were two main factors in the runner's ability to survive the attack: age of the animal and the runner's preparedness. That's right. If you're prepared for anything, you can survive a mountain lion. I know, Steven Bauman. Good job. Good catch. You have to make sure that you understand this. Running kills you. If we haven't learned this fact today, this week, running kills you. Stop doing it. Stop running for no reason. If you're running but not being chased, stop it. Quote, we're still trying to get the official size and weight of the through the necropsy process. She said that's a trick. That's a tricky one for us in this particular instance because mountain lions do tend to exhibit cannibalistic behavior. And from time to time, the gentleman was attacked to when we got there, its body had already been fed on. So several of his organs and entrails were already gone. Wow, that's pretty crazy. So the guy was attacked by a mountain lion. The mountain lion was killed in the attack. Yay for the runner. Good job. Awesome stuff. But by the time that they had gotten back to the trail and found the lion, he was already half eaten, which is kind of crazy to think about that. I mean, it just goes to show you guys, once again, everything you do, stop running. Stop running. Don't do it. It's bad for you. Bad for your health. You're not going to do it. It's bad. It's bad, 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 bad. Don't do it. What is that, Nicole? What did you say? Now, see... That's what we need to feed the cows. AOC. Problem solved. Love their tummies. Yep, that's right. That's right. Running is only good for escape. Yes. You see me running, you better shoot whoever's behind me. Yes, that is true. Exactly. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. If you are being chased or somebody's trying to kill you, then you run. Other cases, do not run. That is it. Overonthehill.com, just months after voting in Utah and Idaho approved a ballot measure meant to expand Medicare coverage and the income-loaded residents' Affordable Care Act, legislators on both sides are moving to place restrictions on the number of people who have been covered. That's right. Utah State Senate on Monday advanced a measure to cover those who make up to 100% of the federal poverty limit under Medicaid. Those would make between 100% and 138% of the federal poverty level would be required to purchase subsidized insurance plans on the ACA's individual marketplace. The plan would replace Proposition 3, a measure that would have covered everyone up to 138% of the federal poverty level under Medicaid paid by a 0.15 percentage point increase in their state sales tax. The measure passed on November by 53% out of 47% margin. Wow, that's a lot of numbers. So the Senate passed a bill that would basically put everybody on Medicaid. Yeah. Okay. And this is in Utah. Right. In Idaho, top legislative Republicans met this week to begin hashing out proposals to replace Proposition 2, which would have expanded Medicaid coverage to those making less than 133% of the federal poverty level, and those who are not eligible for state insurance, a provision designed to effectively include those who make 138% of the poverty level or less. You know, it's funny that they give these measures. Here's a poverty line. Here's where it is. Okay, this is the line of poverty. Here. Well, actually, if you're looking in the video, here is the line of poverty. Okay, so we're going to give coverage to everybody from here down to make sure that they're taken care of. Or, here's the poverty line. Oh, by the way, these guys don't get covered. So why don't we cover them? Well, aren't they supposed to already be covered? They make 138% less than poverty line. You make 100% less than poverty. You are really poor. Really poor. Like really poor, like super poor. Like poor. Like almost third world poor. Except for the fact that you have government paying for your food already. You have government paying for your insurance already. You have government paying for actually giving you a stipend each month. You have government, like if you're talking about that. So with this sort of a system, it's if you are actually making without government assistance and everything else, 138% less than the poverty line. Okay. You had no government assistance. You had no help or anything like that. Oh, I can see somebody possibly needing a little bit of help. I get it. But at the same point in time, there are ways around that. There are ways to fix that without getting the government involved. If the churches actually got back involved in their societies, if the churches actually got back involved in their government and decided that they were going to start doing the things that they should do, the things that you know are possible, having the food banks which you know are available, having clothing drives that you know are available, making sure that people can help find jobs, have job trainings in those churches and things like that to make sure that they can find a place that they can learn a skill. Not a place by the government, not a place paid by federal tax money or state tax money, but a place where a company or an organization decides by the will by their own goodwill and by the thought process that they should do this. Those people, those folks should be the ones going through and saying, okay, we're going to do this. The government doesn't need to get involved here. This is not where the government needs to be. Because it's not. Because what you do, the moment that you decide to do this with the government, all you do is add more slaves to the field. More slaves to the plantation. Oh no, see Donna, I was thinking when I'm saying you're probably third world, you're probably about as bad as third world. What I mean by third world is, the richest of the third world. I don't mean, living in a dirt floor with straw roof sort of thing. I completely get where you're going with that. Yeah, no. There is no comparison really. I'm talking about third world rich is first world poorest of poor. In many cases. Now, I'm not suggesting that being homeless is some sort of glamorous thing or anything like that. We actually know people that have been homeless or that are homeless and things like, and it is a horrible situation to go through. but you have more. You still have more opportunity to better yourself here if you apply. If you apply yourself and you make yourself work it. If you push yourself through it, if you can find a place that's willing to help you, if you can look through the glass and make sure that you are the one that stands up and says, hey, I need some help, you will be able to find people that are willing to help you. And it doesn't have to be the government. And it shouldn't be the government. And that's what that's what I'm trying to say. That's exactly right, Nicole. And now you get a hint of why, hit on to why the progressives want the community churches to be excluded from helping individuals. If the government is the first word of a person's mouth when they want to solve an issue, they're doing it wrong. Correct. Oh, I know you're on my side, Donna. I know you're on my side. I'm just making sure that I was clarifying myself. I want to make sure that I'm clear so that I don't so that nobody misunderstands what I'm trying to push out. That's all. And it was a very easy turn from going from first world to third world problem. So not going to go there, but I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with these guys going through and saying, look, there's all these things and we're not going to pay for this. We're just not going to pay for this. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but if they're trying to make it so the government doesn't pay as much money out to everything, that's probably a good thing. Eventually, that'll be a good thing overall. So, oh goodness, I still don't want to talk about this story. I still don't want to. I don't want to talk about this story. But before I get to it, patriotmobile.com. Go to 1-800-A-PATRIOT, call 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or go to patriotmobile.com/mojo. Get up to 2 of your activation fees waived when you do so. PatriotMobile.com. If you think that enough is enough, join the fight today. Because here's the truth. Your cell phone company is probably funding liberal gun grabbers. Patriot Mobile is America's only conservative cell phone company out there, and it's doing the exact opposite. If you're fed up with getting with disgusting policies like New York's abortion laws, or their taxes, Bloomberg's gun control plans, or the stalemates and border policies, or getting taxed for your rain, join the thousands of Americans using Patriot Mobile and getting reliable nationwide coverage, and watch the hard-earned money that you've made fight for your First and Second Amendments on border security and sanctity of life as well. It's veteran-led. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every bill to conservative causes like the Heritage Foundation, the NRA, and the Susan B. Anthony list. Switching over to Patriot Mobile is very easy nowadays, especially with their unlimited talk and text plans starting as low as $20 a month. Go there today. It's 1-800-A-PATRIOT or patriotmobile.com/mojo. They have new deals all the time, going through month to month to month. Check them out. Figure out what's going on with them, and you will work through it. I might need to take some Antrantil before I do this next story. Man wanted for 865 counts of child rape was finally arrested in Tallahassee, Florida. The man's name, who I'm not going to say, was arrested in Kearney Center around 11 a.m. February 7th. Warrants for the man's arrest were signed on January 16th in Shippenville, Pennsylvania, but he fled the area before the police could find him. Investigators found the guy after they received information hinting that he could be in Tallahassee. He was facing 216 counts of child rape, 216 counts of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a child, and 216 counts of aggravated indecent assault of a child, and 216 counts of statutory sexual assault and engaged in endangering the welfare of a child. $216 counts of child rape, 216 counts of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a child, 216 counts of aggravated indecent assault, 216 counts of statutory sexual assault and endangering the welfare of a child. No matter what, this man should be castrated. Should never be allowed to do that in the least. I wouldn't mind hanging him publicly. Yeah, totals up to 865 counts total. 865 counts. All around. Authorities say the man is accused of committing these acts on a 5-year-old boy who he was grooming over the past several years. So this was all done to one kid. 216 counts, multiple times over, all done to one child. He was captured in Florida. And he's staying in the Leon County Detention Facility until he's extradited back to Pennsylvania, where he will hold until they can put him through the process. I don't remember. Guys, does Florida have the death penalty? I hope they do. I really hope they do. I mean, his life is not his life. I wouldn't mind that, Babel. Tower Babel Jack all over on the MeWe chat room. I wouldn't mind. He says, can we just go ahead and find him guilty and bring back the firing squad? I wouldn't mind that. Because 216 counts of multiple different things going through the times. Yeah, that guy needs to be put out of his misery. He needs to be put down. That is beside that point. But you have that, right? Okay. So let's go to something nicer. Let's go to something happier. Let's go to something that's going to make you cry because there's a 13-year-old child that is going to make more in its next year than most of us are going to make in our lifetimes. Yes, that is right. A genius teenager has become a millionaire after inventing a lollipop that is good for your kid's teeth. You see, Alina Morse, I don't know if she's related to Brandon Morse, but it is spelled the same. She is the 13-year-old kidpreneur and was expected to make $2 million in 2018 for her groundbreaking idea. As a kid, candy is a hot commodity, but as you may know, candy's also very, very finicky and should be kept away from children because the sugar will rot their teeth and make them go crazy. Well, she has decided to fix this issue, and she created Zollipops. Zollipops is the first tooth-friendly lollipop for kids, as her website explains. She's 13 years old. 13 freaking years old. And she made $2 million last year. She's 13 years old and made $2 million last year, guys, off of lollipops. I'm in the wrong business. I think I'm in the wrong business, guys. That's right, Stephen Bowman. She may not be a relative, but she is now. They are long-lost cousins, if nothing else. That is right. Brandon Morse. Somebody tag Brandon Morse and make sure he knows about this story. Get the time code. Get the timestamp. Let him know that he should be listening right around the 49-minute mark. You know, he's got to know about the teenager named Alina Morse, just like Brandon Morse. They're definitely related now. They have to be related. They took a picture of her on the for the stuff. This is actually from Big League Politics, by the way. I started using the site a little bit to check through and check different sources and things, but they have her pictured outside of Toys R Us, who sells her product, as well as Whole Foods and Target and Walmart and everywhere else. So you can go find these things and you can help make her even more successful, which you should do because it's a really good idea, honestly. I can't believe nobody else has thought of it. But she found a way to make candy that's good for kids' teeth. Dang it. I missed the boat. Missed the boat there. Crap. Anyway. So you know what? Let's do this. Let's shift gears. Let's go to some Florida man stories. How about it? You want some Florida man stories? We can do some Florida man stories. Let's get it on the boat down to Florida. Let's start with this one. A Florida politician allegedly made a habit of licking men's faces. She has since resigned. Florida Beach Commissioner reprimanded for licking men's faces. This is coming from the Madeira Beach City Commissioner. Her name was Nancy Oakley. She'll face consequences for licking a city manager's face, which will include paying up to $5,000 fines. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It was supposed to be fun, lighthearted, alternative type of government meeting, and one of the benefits of laid-back beach town, the city commissioner of Florida told the community of 4,500 who are situated in the island of Gulf of Mexico. And then she decided to screw it up by licking a man's face. What are you going to do? In other news, Florida man gets stuck to a prepped drag strip surface at a GTR World Cup. They do have pictures here. You can stick to the streets, man, was the quote here. Florida man played host for the GTR World Cup last weekend, and in the event, some of the fastest Nissan GTRs on the planet, laying down 7-second 200 mile per hour quarter-mile times. But the action was briefly held up when one attendee got stuck to the drag strip's treated surface, resulting in the least tragic Florida man story in 2019. You're still convinced that the guy that the woman was licking the guy's face was a dude? I mean, I don't know. She might have been a dude. She didn't look quite like a dude, but yeah, meh. I don't know. Our relative of Joe Biden. You know, she might be. She might be. Her last name is nowhere close to Biden, but you never know. Women change their names often. Another Florida man story. Off the beat. Dispute over chips may have sparked a machete mayhem. That's right. An apparent spat over a few bags of chips may have sparked a man to use a machete and threaten to cut the butt of... Luis Nunez, 48, of the 2300 block of 3rd Street Southwest of Vero Beach, was arrested January 24th on an aggravated assault charge with a deadly weapon after the incident. And an Indian River County Sheriff, the deputy, went to Nunez's listed address for the disturbance. The man, Nunez, threatened him with a machete because he was listening to him. Or he wasn't listening to him. The man said that he was in the living room and Nunez, quote, asked him to grab a hospital bed from off of the couch. Oh, this guy had to be high. There had to be drugs involved. No, Stephen Ballman. No, she was not hot. And not even by Brad's standards. Not even by Brad's standards was she hot. It is not entirely clear how the hospital bed could even be on a couch. The man said he refused, and Nunez yelled at him and got in his face, quote, "Step to me again and I will cut your buttocks down," Nunez is quoted as saying. Nunez said the disagreement began, quote, because he was hiding a few bags of chips under a pillow, which were supposed to be for his kids. The types of chips, of course, were kettle chips, oven-baked, and multigrain. He wasn't very specific about them, but they were for his kids, dang it. He will cut your buttocks. Oh, and by the way, a Florida woman was arrested for beating her boyfriend up with a frozen pork chop. That's right, you heard me. Florida woman arrested for beating a man with a frozen pork chop, and no, she is also not hot. You know what that sound means, folks? That sound means that it's time for me to sign off with you guys. So, stay classy. Go live. Keep yourselves defended. And arm yourselves always. Good night, Doc Thompson. We know where you are. Annyeong. Now you go home.